Welcome back to Computer Vision. Today we're going to talk about finding corners, which might not feel like the most exciting thing in the world, but actually it is fundamental to a whole bunch of computer vision. Last time we talked a lot about the notion of features, and features were sort of locations in the image that you could find in multiple images so that you could match them, whether you were doing essential matrix finding or some other reason or some transformation. And we talked a little bit about what makes a good feature. So here was an example of some feature points. The first thing that makes a good feature is simply repeatability / precision, but really repeatability meaning if I find you in the left image, I better find you in the right image. Or if I have a sequence of images that I'm trying to line, I want to find that same feature point. I want to detect it as a point in as many of them as possible. The other thing is that I should be able to be sort of precise in my description. We'll talk a little bit more about locality in a minute, but the idea is that this is the point, I find it every time, and I find it more or less in the same place with respect to the scene. The next thing we said needed to be important about a feature was the saliency or the matchability. And what we mean by that is that it should have a description that's distinctive. So when I find it in one image, when I look in another image, there aren't a lot of other points that might match that first image. The description should be distinctive. Something that we sometimes forget is that one of the reasons we're doing this, finding these features, is that we're going to use this, I think I used the term constellation of features. This collection of features is going to stand in for the image. So if you remember for fundamental matrices, we needed 8 points, although a dozen or more is better, 20. But the idea is that this is a number much smaller than the number of pixels. So compactness and efficiency says we should find good features, but we should not find a bazillion of them, or even half a bazillion. We should find enough, but not too many. How's that for a technical description? But the idea is that you're finding enough, but it's much, much less than the number of pixels. And finally, locality. And locality means that the description of the feature is dependent upon a neighborhood, but not too big a neighborhood. If you remember, one of the reasons we said that is that if the neighborhood is too big, then if I change my viewpoint a little bit and something's occluding part of that, even though I can still see the feature, the neighborhood might have been partially occluded, and then the feature might not be detected anymore or not described the same way. So locality means that I want a descriptor based upon a region around it, but not too big a region.